Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how to remove the rear vent grates on this Samsung stove. You may have caught a previous video I made on just taking the grills off and the burners and stuff. But in this video we're going to focus on taking the rear vent panels off. Now these are screwed on and there's a screw behind each grill, just one. Well, you'll see two screws when you look back there, but let me see if we can get a closer look here. All right, yeah. All right, so I'm going to take my screwdriver and show you what needs to be taken off. Okay, this one right here, don't unscrew the one next to it. Okay, just this one, because this is connected to the bracket that's connected to this. Okay, now the big pain about this is you cannot use a regular Phillips screwdriver. This is number 2 bit, by the way. That's the most common. Unless you move the stove out of the way. And a lot of people don't want to deal with that. Some of these stoves could be in pretty tight, even though they shouldn't be fastened at all. But sometimes they're hard to move out of the way. So you would think getting a stubby screwdriver might do the trick, but not enough room for that. So we're going to go over to the third choice, and this is a 1/4 inch bit ratchet, and I'll have a link in the description, maybe the comments. And this is what we're going to use to get behind there. Now let's continue on, because it's a little bit nerve-wracking, so you have to pay attention and be careful. All right, so we're going to get our 1/4 inch bit driver. Unless you happen to pull the stove out, then you can use either the stubby or a regular length screwdriver. This is probably about 8 inches long. And what we're going to do is hold everything tight, because there's a couple things you have to worry about dropping back here. One is the ratchet itself, 2 is the bit coming loose, and 3, of course, is the screw. You don't want to drop that back there. And I would say, and you're not going to want to hear this, but there's probably about a 50-50 chance that you will drop the screw behind the stove. So in that case, I would say when you take them out, if you have one left, go to the hardware store and buy an extra. Okay, so here we go. We got the bit in, we got the ratchet, we got a firm grip, and we're gonna remember lefty-loosey. Okay. We're reversed, so it's actually going to be going to the right because we're backwards. But in general, lefty-loosey, and you want to keep pressing into the screw so you don't lose the ratchet. Okay, and then you can take this little ribbed area, okay, and grab it. Let's see, and you can move it without moving the ratchet. I know it's a little hard to see. My hand was in the way there for a second. Okay, once it gets loose, you can reach in there and see if you can continue with your hands. Okay. And no. Okay. And I'm just spinning this ribbed part. I know when I move my hand in a way, you can't see everything, but what I'm doing is just grabbing a hold and continuing to spin in that direction. Okay. And going to the screw is just about loose. All right, make sure you get a firm grip on it. All right, and there we go. Okay, that is the screw. Okay, it's about a 1/4 inch long, and yeah, you can probably get extras if you lose this in the hardware store, but the trick is to have at least one of these. All right, so the screw is out. Let's flip this out. Now look at that. Comes right out. This is the only screw that is holding this on. Okay. Now, you may think like, hey, why not just leave the screw out all the time? Well, you probably could. It might flip around a little bit, but I have it seated and I'm pressing on it. And it doesn't look like if you do hit it inadvertently, it will fall off and go behind the stove. It has to lift up before it'll go any further. So it's up to you. I don't know if there's any safety concerns if it's not mounted, but I'm probably going to mount mine back again. And so what we're going to do is go to the other side. I'm going to flip around my spoon container camera holder. All right, and make sure we can see that side. Okay, we're going to do the other side in case you want to keep watching. And I'm going to, the second set of this video will be removing the grills and all the burners and putting them back on the right way if you want to keep watching for that. So let's move over to this side. All right, remember lefty loosey, we're going to do this screw here, okay? And a little help with the spin. And again, what I'm doing is just grabbing the wheel and turning it. Okay. Can you see that? I'll make sure you can see that here. Balance action going on. Okay. Make sure you got a firm grip on the screw as you're turning it and out. Okay. So there we go. Now you can take your spray, wash this. I use a Citra solve. Let me show you. It's the least offensive. Again, I use this to clean our quartz counters and the stove. So I actually clean that before it's not too bad. Back here, you may want to clean too. And so let's put these back on. All right, and they can be a little tricky. All right, I had a problem the last time putting this back on. And let's do one at a time. All right. And basically, really good hold of the screw. If you have large fingers, it's probably a lot harder. Make sure that's in good. And this piece actually fits underneath this piece, okay? Now, let me take this out. You can see a little tab here. See the tab? So this should go in first unless you want to just lift them both up. Okay. Fits in there. Get ready to not drop the screw. And if you put a little pressure on it, you can feel it slip into the hole. And then you can get it started. Keep holding on to it. Flip your ratchet to the other side, righty-tighty. And I'll put a link. There's a few different types of ratchets that perform the same thing. There's another one that's the color red, and it does the same thing as this. So it's up to you. And we're going to put this in here, firm grip, all right? Close. You don't have to brutally tighten it, just snug. All right, we're going to do the other side. Now I have a hunch the other side might be a problem again, because I've had these off before. All right, let me tilt that down. I think okay, we can see. And sometimes you may have to lift this up and down a little bit just to get this to fit into the receptacle for the screw. And okay, you know, we can take it, jiggle it around, and I just felt it fall in a bit, but it's at an angle. Seems like it's a little too high. And again, this is the part where you enter the 50-50 zone, where you might drop this behind the stove. Okay, I had it in there before. Okay, I'm jiggling it around a little bit and I felt it go in. All right, still holding it. Grab it. Okay, Okay, I'm not gonna pull my hand away so you can see until I can get a good grip. There we go. Okay. And we can take this little gear and give it a little help turn. You can even hold the bit itself to keep it from spinning back when you go back the other way. And kind of make it a nice, slow, meditative experience. If you try and rush it, you could drop it. Okay. So that's in. All right. Looking pretty good. And so the next step, if we made it this far and you want to move on, appreciate it if you give a thumbs up, subscribe. If you want to learn how to take the grills off and put them back on, including all the burners, keep watching. Okay, so we're going to continue on and we're going to take the grills off. All right, so the first thing you may notice is the front part has the fat part of the grill. Okay, now you can put them on the other way, and it's a matter of what you want yourself, because they will fit in with the fat part in the back or the fat part in the front. So for this video, I'm going to keep the fat part in the front, and what I'm going to do is just take this off. They have rubber on the feet underneath, so I don't have to worry about scratching the counter. So I'm going to take this off. I'm going to take the middle one off and put it right on top. Okay, and then the last one. Okay, and then the burners. We have the burner caps. All right. And then we have the gas distribution discs. Okay. So the gas will come up through this little hole and this spreads the gas out. Now if you notice, there's a hole right here where the igniter goes through, and this makes the spark to light the flame. So take note of that. This is pretty easy to see on this one. All right, here's the mid-size one. We're going to get that out of the way. Here's the middle one. Now the top piece is attached to the bottom distribution plate. Okay, so when you put it back on, we're going to remember this little hole goes over the igniter. Okay, so we're going to put that there. We're going to take the little baby one off. Okay, put that there. And then the big mama is 2 top rings. Okay, and by the way, the middle of the large burner is the same as the little the baby right here. Okay, you can interchange these, but these are the only 2 that you can interchange. All right. This is made out of a heavier metal. Could be bronze or something like that. The others are aluminum. So you can definitely tell the difference. All right. And there's a little trick to putting this back on because it may be a little bit confusing. So let's just make a statement about cleaning. Now I do use Citra. It's my favorite cleaner for my counters and the stove. I'll just give this a quick wipe down. I'm not going to do a super great job. And you know, sometimes I do a quick wipe. I mean, you cook one thing here, you do a stir fry, and the stove is destroyed pretty quickly. Sometimes I'll just spend like a half hour just like getting in the little nooks and crannies, getting the grease around the stove, the screws. But anyway, I'm just gonna make this simple for now. All right. And then we're gonna start putting it back. We'll start with the most semi-confusing one, and that's the heavy Big Mama. All right. Now, if you look, there's a little drip outlet here. Okay. That will face forward, and you'll see a little notch right here. That hugs the igniter. Okay, so we're going to put that like that, and you will feel it fall into place. Okay, there's little notches that keep it in the right place. See, this little kind of U thing fits in there. These 2 fit in here. All right, and then we have this. You'll see this little niblet and that little notch there that keeps it the right position. Okay, now keep in mind, if you wash these and they're wet, they probably won't light up properly or at all until they dry. Okay, so if you get any of these wet, lots of times it happens with this. Water gets in there and it's really hard to dry because the top is screwed on. So you want to make sure these are all dry before you put them on. Okay, so we're going to put the outer ring on. All right, it doesn't fit in any particular way, just straight on. And then we're going to put in the little cap in the middle. Okay. And then we are going to do the medium disc. Okay, here's the little hole for the igniter to go through. All right. And you may be thinking, can I put the medium in the back instead of the front left? And no. Okay, they were all different sizes. So where they come from is where they go back. All right, here's the igniter hole here. And we're going to pop that in there and put the medium cap on. Okay, and then the last one, little notch here. All right, that goes there, and then the cap. And then the center grill. You'll see a hole just on one side. We're going to put that over the igniter. Get that little debris out of the way. Oops. Move it around until you feel it fit. It'll fall right in. Okay. You want to check before you put the grill back on. Looks pretty good. Not bad. Both rings are working there. And we got the back one. All right, you don't want to get things too hot before you finish putting the grills on. All right, so this, you're going to take the grill, put it on the left side, fits in nicely. I'm going to take the center grill. There's these little nubs that kind of fit underneath the other one. All right, not too complicated, and then the right one. And then we're all set. So there you go. Hope this helped you out. Appreciate it if you get a thumbs up, subscribe. Any thoughts or comments? I appreciate it if you leave them below. Thanks for watching.